All right, let's talk about the stimulus now on Morning Invest. Welcome into the show. If you're new here, please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. We cover all the business news that I think matters to the 99%, not the 1%, the Wall Street people. And one thing that really matters right now is economic stimulus. Yeah. Imagine tens of thousands of people without a job, people losing their health care. People don't know how they're going to put food on the table. 1 in 10 families right now are food insecure in this country. They can't put food on the table. They're having to choose between buying medicine and buying food. Schools are shut down. Parents are trying to do virtual schooling with their kids, and they're not teachers. They're doing the best they can. This is going to be the year or two that sets America back permanently. Kids falling behind to other countries because we don't have a comprehensive plan in place. Other countries able to pass $2,000 a month in stimulus. We can't. Canada, $2,000 a month for its citizens so that they survive. Healthcare for all, free public college, student loan debt out the ass in America. We can't get our act together because we're too busy paying corporate donors, too busy making sure that Wall Street is taken care of. Both parties are to blame. Both Democrats and Republicans and this White House are to blame for a total amount of failure on our COVID response. Getting economic stimulus to the American people. In the CARES Act, we got a little bit of it, and we saw how it kept people out of poverty. It was like a little shot in the arm, not much. But who benefited? Wall Street, big businesses, they all benefited. Now, last night, the House of Representatives passed a new stimulus bill last night. Yes, it passed. New stimulus, $2.2 trillion aid bill. But that lower third graphic there says it all. Breaking news, House passes Democrats' $2.2 trillion aid bill that Republicans reject. Right. Even 8 Democrats voted against it last night. Even 8 Democrats didn't vote for this thing last night in the House. So now it goes over to the Senate, where basically Mitch McConnell has declared it dead on arrival. So once again, a new $2.2 trillion aid bill stimulus package. And the only reason, by the way, we saw this even hit the floor is because talks basically between Nancy Pelosi and the White House have fallen flat. They are still too far apart on a number. And the only reason you saw this symbolic vote was because they had nowhere else to go. And congressional members of the House have been begging Nancy Pelosi, please pass something. I've got to go back to my constituents back home and tell them I'm doing something. That's literally what this was. This was political theater. This was a joke. This was not real. This was not anything other than political theater. Led by Nancy Pelosi, who's out to lunch.
Your quiver, you're not ruling anything out.
Good morning. Sunday morning.
She had an opportunity back in the CARES Act to demand state and local governments get aid and money back in March. She didn't. When governors like Governor Cuomo of New York said, hey, you guys are passing this aid package, I don't think there's going to be another bill. This is going to be it. Can you include state and local money here for us? Because we're going to get screwed. He was right. And she said, relax, sit down, shut up, governors. There will be money. There wasn't. There's not. Because she knew that they were just bailing out their big corporate donors in that last CARES Act. And so did her Republican colleagues, Mitch McConnell. That's why they moved and did it in 8 days. Hey, look at all this money for all these big corporate donors. Look at Wall Street. They're all taken care of. President Trump signs it immediately. Now we passed this $2 trillion package last night. Here's what's in it. If there's a chance in heaven that this will actually pass the Senate. But here's what's in it. Let's rattle off what's in this $2 trillion package. It'll reinstate the $600 per week, the enhanced unemployment benefits through January. They'll send a second $1,200 direct payment to most Americans. It'll give $436 billion in relief over 1 year to state and local governments. It would authorize more money for a second round of Paycheck Protection Program loans for the hardest hit businesses and industries. It'll send another $25 billion to the airlines because, they need it. They just lost 40,000 employees at American Airlines. It'll inject $75 billion for contact tracing and testing efforts for COVID. Put another $225 billion into education and $57 billion into child care. It would set aside billions for rental and mortgage assistance, which we need. Now, Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin, for his part, countered their proposal with their own $1.6 trillion proposal from the White House. But Nancy Pelosi still thinks that's too little, and they're still so far apart. That's where we sit right now. This $2 trillion package passed last night by the House Democrats is likely to go over to the Senate and go nowhere. I don't think that Mitch McConnell is going to bring it up for a vote. I would be stunned if he does, but he probably won't. So it'll just sit there, just like the HEROES Act did a few months ago. And Nancy Pelosi knows it. Mitch McConnell has basically called it political theater, dead on arrival, not going to pass it. And we can't get anything done. 32 days until the election and millions of people without jobs, evictions starting to go into high gear now in October. October is the month that I'm most worried about because this is when the evictions and a lot of the mortgage forbearance are done. Eviction moratoriums are done. And now all of these new furloughs that all of these companies warned Congress about. You know, the airline industry told Congress, unless we get some sort of a bailout, we're done. We can't keep bleeding millions of dollars a day because no one's flying. So the latest on the stimulus, folks. Let me know in the chat what you think about this. Will we see a stimulus package before Election Day? You know, yesterday I was hopeful. I was hopeful that it seemed like the White House and Nancy Pelosi were coming together to have something. We're really talking about $500 billion apart right now. I know it doesn't sound like much. I mean, I know that's a lot of money, but we were trillions apart. We're getting so close. Is there any way we can get this passed before Election Day? It all comes down to Mnuchin and Pelosi and Mark Meadows, who, by the way, was with the president on this trip and who now has coronavirus. So we don't know if Mark Meadows is tested and if he's okay. He's leading these negotiations along with Secretary Mnuchin. So we'll see. Go ahead and smash that like button. Do not forget to sign up and subscribe to our daily newsletter, delivered to your inbox first thing in the morning. So you get all of the business news that I think is important for you and your family. Just go to morninginvest.com is how you subscribe. By the way, if you share it with friends who sign up also, you get free stuff. That's right. Because if you scroll to the bottom of the newsletter, you'll see your rewards section where you log in to your own dashboard. You can see how many referrals you get. And the more referrals you get, the more free stuff like mugs and giving away sweatshirts and other things as we add them to the store. So thanks to you for subscribing to the newsletter and supporting independent journalism. I really appreciate it.